Now at 11, big developments in the shootings at Naval Station, Norfolk. Tonight, investigators say the man who shot and killed a sailor was 35-year-old Jeffrey Savage of Portsmouth. We know he was a civilian truck driver who worked for Majet Trucking, and he was not authorized to be on base Monday night.
The Navy says he murdered Master-at-Arms Second Class Mark Mayo, who jumped between the gun and a fellow petty officer. The Navy later ruled out this was a pre-planned attack or an act of terrorism. But Mayo gave his life to save hers. Security officers then killed Savage.
Tonight, we are digging into Savage's criminal past and talk to those who knew him.
We're also looking at security procedures at the base. How did he get on the USS Mahan?
We're on your side with team coverage, but first, 10 of your side's Jason Marks talked to family members of a victim of one of Savage's previous crimes.
And what did they tell you, Jason?
Tom, Savage killed his best friend, Maurice Griffin, in 2005. Griffin's family started hearing rumors Tuesday morning that the man involved in the Navy shooting was Savage, which didn't come as much of a surprise.
We know exactly what they're going through right now.
It's a bond between two families that no one could imagine. The Griffin family in Chesapeake and the Mayo family in Maryland. The two have never met, but they both lost loved ones at the hands of Jeffrey Savage.
To deal with this now is bringing up a lot of emotions.
Tuesday morning, the Griffins heard the terrible news from Naval Station Norfolk.
I was watching an interview last night with his mom. She was crying and stuff. I know that hurt her, but he was a hero. He did his job.
Almost 10 years before Mark Mayo came face to face with the man who was trying to get on a Navy ship, Savage was involved in another murder case. In 2005, Maurice Griffin's body was found in a field next to Interstate 85 in Charlotte. He was shot in the head.
It hurt a lot, like knowing that he was gone forever and we never get to see him again.
Griffin and Savage were on the way to Atlanta. They were childhood friends. Savage was like another son of the Griffins.
He was like family. He was at family functions.
The day after the murder, Chopper 10 was above a Portsmouth hotel when SWAT arrested Savage. He was taken back to Charlotte and tried. He claimed the shooting was self-defense and pleaded guilty to a lesser charge, manslaughter.
Every part of me felt when we left that courtroom, when he was sentenced to such a light sentence, that he would come out and do it again.
Savage served about 1.5 years in the North Carolina Department of Corrections before his release in 2009. He was sentenced to serve almost 4 years, but he was let out due to time served in the Mecklenburg County Jail.
You got to stop on the wrist for killing somebody.
Almost 10 years later, news of his latest crime didn't come with a surprise this time around for the Griffins.
I mean, you can kill once, you'll kill again with ease.
There's no reason why Jeff was ever released from prison. He should have been still incarcerated, serving time for taking somebody's life, a precious life. He should still been in jail, and this should have never been able to happen.
Griffin's family says they wish they could reach out to the Mayo family and provide support. The Griffins tell me they do find it comforting knowing Savage can no longer hurt anyone else. Jason Marks, 10 on your side.
And aside from Savage's manslaughter in Charlotte, he's also been arrested for possession of marijuana in Chesapeake, plus other traffic infractions.
Tonight, we are digging more into the security and how Savage was able to get to Pier 1. You're taking a live look at Gate 5 at Naval Station Norfolk, where Savage gained access to the USS Mahan. We are watching vehicles come and go and seeing how security works there. It was around this time Monday night when the shooting happened. It's becoming more clear that the investigation on the shooting will center on why Jeffrey Savage was not questioned about why he was on base at 11 p.m. and where he was going. Officers say he did not have authorization to be there because he did not have paperwork indicating what his business was. We asked a local truck driver how it works.
Well, they have to present a TWIC badge and another form of identification, of course, their driver's license, and some paperwork such as a BOL or a rental ticket explaining what they're doing, what business that they have on the base.
The BOL he's referring to is a bill of lading that shows document of title of goods delivered and quantity, and it's a receipt from the shipping company. We learned Savage was not delivering. He only had a truck and no trailer. We also learned when Savage came through Monday night, he did not go through the inspection station because it was closed, which we are told it normally is at 11 p.m.
And you also heard that trucking owner a moment ago refer to a TWIC, a card implemented after 9/11. This stands for Transportation Worker Identification Credential. You can be convicted of manslaughter and still get one. You can be denied only for espionage, sedition, treason, or terrorism. And I asked Senator Tim Kaine about this shortly after we learned Savage was carrying that card.
That is very, very disturbing. So, again, the GAO has done an investigation of this program, not in connection with the shooting, but just generally, and found there to be some problems. If this individual had a felony conviction for manslaughter, how does that individual either get a TWIC card, or if he got it before the conviction, how does he keep it? There will be a thorough investigation and a report about what happened, but those reports usually almost immediately suggest fixes that need to be made, and that's how we're going to be looking at this one.
I want to point out, too, that I asked Senator Kaine about this literally moments after we learned the details about Savage and his past record. Kaine spoke to us following a meeting of the Armed Services Committee today.
Our team coverage continues with details on the suspect's family now. This afternoon, we found what we believe to be Savage's mother's house in Chesapeake. 10 on your side's Lauren Compton joins us now live from outside the home in the Western Branch area. Lauren, you've seen some activity out there tonight.
Yes, Nicole, we did. About an hour ago, we saw some people go into the home that we believe to be Jeffrey Savage's mother's home, and we asked them what their relationship was, and here's what happened. I'm from WAVY News 10. What relationship do you have to Jeffrey Savage? What relationship do you have to Jeffrey Savage? This home on Radford Circle in Western Branch is where neighbors say they saw Jeffrey Savage come and go several times. Neighbors also tell 10 on your side a woman lived here and ran a daycare out of the home. Savage is the man NCIS says shot and killed Master at Arms Second Class Mark Mayo on the USS Mahan Monday. The day after the shooting, several neighbors tell me they saw law enforcement officers around the home on Radford Circle. This is one neighbor talking about the heavy police presence in the area the day after the shooting.
It is kind of, of course, when it happens, so close to you, it's just kind of, weird. I don't know any other words for that, but I knew something was going to be happening that day. Like I said, with the gentleman that was staked out here for a while. He was there for a few hours.
And neighbors say it's not clear if Savage lived here or if he was just visiting relatives. In Chesapeake, Lauren Compton, 10 on your side.
We stopped by Savage's last known address, which goes back 8 years. It's located off Airline Boulevard and Hodges Ferry Road in Portsmouth. Residents here did not recognize his name or picture. Aaron Kelly did some digging here. A manager of the apartment complex, though, said that NCIS officials arrived this afternoon asking about Savage.
We still have a lot of unanswered questions in this case. Here are the big ones. We are still trying to figure out Savage's motive and how he got on base. Also, why did he target the USS Mahan? And what are the long-term repercussions? Finally, we are still waiting to hear autopsy results that may hold clues as to what happened.